Gentlemen, I have 7:26. I call this meeting of the General Government and Public Safety Committee to order. I know attendance has been taken. Comments from citizens? Hearing none. Public Safety, Fire Department, activity reports in your packet. Diddy, would you like to point out anything?
No, I'm gonna have, you'll notice there's a lot of alarms going off at Heritage Hall. That is actually people pulling the alarm, which I can't say that I blame them. But we've got a new director, and I've talked to him before. I think we can work with him somehow to, how to slow some of this down. They're actually pulling the alarm.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And then the newest fire truck, I'm gonna call Mockins again tomorrow. You know, it's a diesel pickup, and it has that DEF system on it. Yeah.
Diesel exhaust fluid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still having trouble with it. I don't know what's going on. But I'll call up Chris tomorrow, get Joe Mockins, and see what he come up with. Other than that, it's just one run after another.
Looks like we have a quote from Premier Pyrotechnics for the fireworks display.
Yeah, Heather and I worked on that today. I mean, I think you got the same thing I got now, Heather, is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what you guys sent me.
Yeah.
That company that did it last year?
It is, we
Yeah.
have a 3-year contract with them.
Didn't we have?
But we had a conversation today about what we're getting. And you know, last year it did get a little long and stuff
People
like
weren't
that.
satisfied with it, I know.
People,
People weren't very satisfied with what we
well, it got
had.
to running too long, and because he had given us, I don't know, if last year, had like 144 3-inch mortars. That's a whole lot.
Yeah.
So we told him we're gonna, well, let's just back that down and do something, you know, either give us a few more of the big ones or something. So I think we've got it toned back where we gotta have it or something.
Go a little higher,
Yep.
A little bigger.
or either shoot them off a ladder.
Y'all can't go 50 miles out of town and see it, it just don't happen. Gotta stay a little close.
Yeah, but you couldn't even see them from the other side of town.
But I mean, you know, the trees are growing taller too, so.
Maybe the trees are getting bigger.
That's exactly.
That's what's wrong.
Previous year, you could see them from the other side
I
of
mean,
town.
that's why they got the park all open, everybody comes to the park. Is that right, Mike?
Right.
And this quote is what our contract is for. There's $500 budgeted from the park budget and $4,000 from the city, so.
Okay. Anything else for fire department? Moving on to police department, that activity reports in your packet. Anything you'd like to point out?
Not necessarily an activity report, I don't think, unless he does something.
Yes,
Oh,
comparing last year to this year, we started off pretty slow in January, but February pretty much handed it to us. We're up 166% in cases, 145% in calls for service. So we've definitely made up for it, plus some.
I will tell you that the last 2 days, 3 days, but the last couple days just being warm has made a heck of a difference on our call volume. And it's just been nuts. And, you know, the, just general traffic stops, if you see the fact is that it seems like there's a lot more cars stopped in town when you're cruising through, that's probably true, because I have a traffic unit. And Officer Tarwater's filling that position right now, and we're pulling a lot of stuff off the roads, multiples of things out of one vehicle just yesterday. So, you know, if you wonder if they're doing anything, just ask, because we'll show you. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I've had several people that I've talked to in the last week or so really commented on how they appreciate the dog and how much the dog's being used and how much effort the officers are putting into the fight.
Got a hat trick last night with meth, coke, and heroin.
Trifecta.
One vehicle. One vehicle. So,
Wow.
and I will tell you, a couple, 2, 3, 4 years ago, you've never seen it.
And the vehicle was stolen. So
Oh, yeah.
vehicle
Yeah, it's a-
towed?
Stolen.
Stolen,
Yeah.
oh, okay, wow.
So like I said, it's gonna get busy for us, we know that. More months a year, we're running from call to call to call, that's, I just checked in with the guys before I came over here, and that's all they're doing tonight, so. Yeah, I can't imagine what it'd be with 70.
Have there been, more accidents out at, the intersection of 124, 22, and 151?
Not any more than normal.
Okay.
Actually, the last 12 months was down substantially compared to the 12 months before.
Ah, okay.
Y'all shouldn't talk about
I
that.
know, you better knock on wood.
She's knocking on wood up
I'm
here.
doing-
Mr. Mayor, I
It
just
just
have your phone
means-
number, so.
Can I speed dial?
If
Moving
we
on,
need you, we know where to get hold of you.
Yeah.
moving on to the MoDOT Highway Safety Program grant.
That is just highway safety issues that every year. We want to throw our name in the hat for about, it's about $6,200. It's new radar units for the cars. Some of the radar units we have currently, they're pushing 10, 12, 13, 14 years old. It's a 90-10, costs us $600. Okay. And the reason that, like I said, it is, because like I said, some of the stuff we got is just really old. And we bought a few in the last couple of years, but if we can get MoDOT to pay for the bigger share, I'm gonna do it.
Anything else for the police department under the highway safety program? Moving on, emergency management.
I need a motion or something, since it required, it does say it is agreed by the city council.
Oh, and that's just, a copy of their form. We'll have a formal resolution next week.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say emergency management?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let me tag on that just a little bit. I did have a conversation, with Mr. Hurley 2 weeks ago. We are spot on to get the new sirens. We're waiting on the commission to do a final approval. We're replacing the 5 we currently have with 3 brand new ones. And it actually extends our coverage even just with the 3. And the fact is they're gonna, it's no cost to us at all, so. And they're gonna take them over and do their thing with them, so. That's not final yet, I'm just waiting to hear from him as to whenever they get the final approval from the county commission.
Was there any problem with the drill we had the other day with any of them?
No, I mean, no, other than stuff we already knew, we've got one siren that's out of service, we know that, and there's, but other than that, I mean, I think school went fine, you know, so, no. Everything, 4 of the 5 worked, we knew the 5th one wouldn't work,
So no surprises.
no.
So when are these others supposed to be in place?
What?
When are the others supposed to be in place, the 3 new ones? Do you have any idea?
He said 12 to 15 weeks from time he gets final approval.
Protective inspection.
The asbestos inspection has been done on the buildings that are going to be demolished. That was done last week. He didn't see any obvious signs, but we're still waiting on the results of that to come back in. But that is one step closer.
Did they do that on all 3 locations?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Moving on, general government and finance, economic development. Looks like the chamber contract is in your packet.
This will be in ordinance, or I think it's ordinance form. The message last year, or for next week, excuse me, not last year.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, the contract information is in your packet. Over the last couple of years, we've added some things that we hadn't done before with the wine walk and the cider walk, and done some different things at Christmas time. And we're gonna do some different things next year at Christmas time, I think, with the advertising and all of that, that's gonna bring even more people to town, we hope. And, you know, if you have questions about anything in here, We have also talked about downtown beautification project, and one of the first things we're gonna look at is, and I just printed off what these are. We're looking at adding some benches. We're gonna give some opportunity for sponsoring of, if businesses or individuals want to sponsor a bench, but we would like to start with putting some benches downtown. And then maybe add some flower boxes later, but do it in stages and those come from, those are made at the prison. And I think we probably will start with 5, depending on how many people want to get involved in that, to just kind of see where else they need to be, you know, and try and put some in each block and see if they're used and see where they're used the most in order to add to them over time. This will be a, you know, adding to, just like the Christmas decorations were, you know, those have now finally been all replaced. So that should be done now for a long, long time.
On here is it says memorial plaque can be added,
Mm-hmm.
so people can
Yes,
get the bench and put their name
Yes.
and whatever on it if
Yes.
they sponsor it. That'd be cool. Thanks.
yes. Let's see if you don't have any questions.
I've been talking to a lot of people, and they really like the additional events that the chamber's putting on, so thank you for that. Wine walk and the siren walk and stuff have been really, really well received, so thank you.
Well, and if there are other things that you see other communities do,
Yeah.
I just kind of watch and see what other communities
Right.
do and what people like to do. And they
Mhm.
seem to like to do the walk sort of
Yeah.
thing, so, you know.
It opens up the businesses. for-
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can do a chocolate walk next year or something.
Yeah, I've heard some people are saying, man, I didn't know we had this in town. So,
Yeah.
That's good.
Good, that's why we do it.
Yep. Thanks.
There's also-
So this will be on the agenda for next week, so.
We also had meeting minutes and agenda. Any questions or comments on that?
Tomorrow at our meeting, Janet is going to be at our meeting to talk about the bicentennial. I don't know if she has come to talk to you guys about that.
Not yet. She sent us some letters, but
Yeah.
I'd like to see if she can come up and talk to us sometime.
Well, part of one of the things that they're doing is they're going to do a mural. And from what I understand, each community within the county will have a piece of that puzzle. And what they're looking for is what kinds of things you want included on the piece for Centralia.
Right.
And then it will be on display during the bicentennial, put together, and then it's my understanding afterwards, every community will have their own piece, is what I understand. So they are still working on funding and that kind of thing, so she's gonna be talking a little bit about the bicentennial and what kind of plans, they've got a lot of plans that they're working on as a committee. So, we'll be asked to participate in one way or another.
Anything else under economic development? Moving on to park board. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thanks, Jen.
And meeting minutes. Questions, comments? Moving on to cemetery report, none? Okay. Same with tree board?
Same.
Library board, there are meeting minutes in your packet? As well as the agenda. Questions or comments on that? Moving on, February 2019 financial statements. Questions, comments? All right, bills under over $1,250.
Okay.
79. Questions, comments? Moving on to other general government, website proposal that's next in your packet from Unicode.
There are, you have two proposals. One, the board saw the demonstration for, the other one was a hour-long demonstration, so there's the technology committee watched that. Kara and Tim and I watched that. I don't know if you all have seen that
I
or
wasn't.
not. It had a lot of bells and whistles, so I think it is our preference to look at this website from Unicode. It is more expensive, but it also seemed to have all the features that we needed. And David looked at some of the specifications and seemed to think that they met what we would need as well. Couple things that I'd like to point out, even though it is $4,600 for the development of this site, that's only about $1,000 higher than what we paid for our site in 2007, 2008. Our current site is not mobile friendly. I'm not even sure that it's now ADA compliant. It was at the time, I don't believe that it is now. This site would be automatically mobile friendly and it would be compliant. And then when I talked to Earl, I don't know if he's talked to the park board, but there's an additional feature for $200 a year where you can have GPS locations, and it's like a map and a directory of all your parks. And it'll have a description of each one, and so he thought that they would be willing to pay for that.
Yeah.
To have that included in the website, so.
The department microsites are, I think, important as well.
Right.
Talking about, you know,
Yeah.
each sub-area having their own.
Exactly, so we'll have, everything will be included on this one site. And the way it interacts is very, very cool. So if I wanted to post an event, let's say I needed to post an event, but it was happening at the park, even though it wasn't the park's event, it would still link it to the park's page automatically. And so whenever I did a keyword search, it would come up with all those things. So it really connects with each other well. And so then we can set up, Andrea Owens, as a user, she can log in and change only things on the park page. She can update content, she can add events, she can do all kinds of things, but only for the park's page. We can do the same for the police department's page or even our public utilities. There are other features. You can send out alerts. I'd like to hold off on that. We kind of talked about that before the meeting, but it would be a really neat feature, but we're looking at going to the RAVE system with Boone County, which the way I'm hearing it would be free to us, and we'd be able to send out, push out community alerts that way. So that would save us money. We wouldn't have to pay that extra amount every year. But we would, I think, be able to link it to our website somehow. We'd be able to add a link to that. We can share directly from our page to Facebook. I just think they're a little bit different costs, but it seems well worth it to get all the features that we're looking for. And we would not look at a custom design for this. There are plenty of standard designs that have pages in them. We can go turn off the pages that we don't need and customize it however we need and change pictures. And Amy could change pictures on the website with every season if she wanted to.
Yeah, they
And
built
more,
more-
she wants to.
They built more the frame, but we built the content. So
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes.
Template.
So, if that's something that the board thinks that we could move forward with, which it is a budgeted item also, for after April 1, we can have all the information ready for next week to move forward with this as of April 1. Pardon me?
How much is in the budget?
7,000.
7,000.
And then the annual hosting is 1,800, we pay 1,200 right now. It's not much different. Well, it would be 2,000, but that would be approximately 200.
So is it as generic as the one that we saw in here, or is this one that much better?
We thought it was quite a bit better.
Quite a bit better.
I think this one was a bit more of a 2019 website, as the one we have is really like a 2000 website.
Well, I was referring to the one that was demoed in here, I mean, that honestly.
Immense
looked like it was a
Impact, that
longer
first one,
updated
were you here for that demo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was there for a meeting.
I was asking Tim, but
Oh, yeah.
the other Tim.
Question for you, just clarification. If you look at page 88 in the packet, okay, you know,
I have a fewer.
okay. Well, it lists under standard features the emergency alerts. And so I'm curious if that's,
Well, that might work, I mean, that might be something that,
I just noticed it's listed as a standard, not an add-on.
that's good,
Mhm.
we can use that too.
I think your range
Okay.
system is more of your mobile device, or more of your, you know, and everything else, so I mean, I'm not sure how this thing would work, but
The
go ahead.
range system, if you've gotten, like crash alerts,
Mm-hmm.
I think KMIZ or Cable, one of the two, use something very similar, where it pops up on your cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
whether you want it to or not.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what the range system pretty much does.
Okay.
So if that is a standard feature, then that would be awesome.
Yeah. Very good.
All right, any other questions or comments on this? Any other?
I did talk to Lynn Burns last week about reappointing him to the Planning and Zoning Commission. He agreed to accept that appointment. So,
Had the discussion with Ed and
yeah, I'll make that appointment next Monday. Still looking for somebody for the tree board.
all right. Alderman Hudson, would you read us into closed session?
I move that we go into closed session. During the meeting, the Board of Aldermen may elect to go into a closed session and hold a closed vote, and the purpose of such closed session and closed vote shall be, 1, as provided for under section 610.021, subsection 2, leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate by a public governmental body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration therefore, and 2, as provided for under section 610.021, subsection 3 of the revised statutes in Missouri for hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of particular employees by a public governmental body.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Lee,
Yes.
Alderman Hudson,
Yes.
Alderman Wilkins,
4.
Alderman Magley, Alderman Rogers,
4.
Alderman Borman.
We are now in closed session.
Thank you all very much.
Well, kind of chill.
Yeah.
Sorry, we should have already.
Do you want to watch the action?
Yeah, we'll go and watch it. I'm gonna-
Oh.
There's 3 of them.
Hey, what, Wednesday?
John,
That's a 3.
did Judith say that Janet Thompson's gonna be
The one
at
that-
changing meeting tomorrow?
Yes.
Is that new?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we did go back into open session, the vote was unanimous. We also took 2 additional votes in closed session, and that was to raise the compensation, or to authorize, approve the raises for 2 city employees. I'm trying to make it since it's your
Any as may arise?
Yes. This afternoon I received an email from Yule Lawson, and he's asked me to, meet him at the, Senate hearing for Senate Bill number 383 on Wednesday, which is the, let's see, to repeal section 88.770 RSMO, and to enact in lieu of a new section relating to the sale of utilities in fourth-class cities. So I will be reviewing this bill and consulting with Yule Lawson, and he indicated that MPUA is in favor of this bill, and that the Missouri Municipal League is also in favor of this bill. And it just allows the cities to, as I understand it, allows the cities to vote whether they want to sell their utilities or not, and what the requirements are for the sale. So I'll be doing that Wednesday afternoon.
I don't know why I said we want to do that.
Right.
Anyone else have an as may arise?
Yes. I understand you guys had some questions on your workshop last week.
The
about-
budget meeting?
Yes. About the proposed 2 additional officers, full-time officers. Somewhere in your packet, I believe, aren't they?
Oh, the numbers? No,
They're not?
they're not in the packet.
That's what I was asking you about
Do you have it with you?
I do. And I'll let you guys look at them. I have tried to simplify it as much as possible. With that comes a lot of different things. We would need to go to a 12-hour shift. I've been researching this for a better part of a year. The cheapest, most cost-effective way to get 2 officers on at all times. Only way that's possible, with the limited resources we have, is through 12-hour shifts. Idealistically, I wanted 3 full-time officers. Right now, that's just not possible. I get that. So what we've done is made a schedule covering all but 3 hours of the day with at least 2 officers. The 3 hours would be in between 4 AM and 7 AM. That's the most cost-effective way to do it, guys. It also, you guys saw the salary survey. You know that the city of Centralia is on the lower end. Okay, so we can't give them pay. If we switch to this 12-hour schedule, they get every other weekend off. Right now, I've got officers that have worked for several years, every weekend. I did it. I did it for probably 7 years. And I didn't have a problem with it, but I'm a little bit different than a lot of the younger generation. This gives them every other weekend off, and they can plan out a year in advance. If they do it right, when they take 2 days of vacation, they have 7 full days off. So we can't give them the pay, but there's a couple of perks to it. To do what I'm proposing, we would have to change an ordinance. There are 2 categories guideline. One is law enforcement, one is firefighters. We can change the hours. As it stands right now, 80 hours, anything above, you have to pay overtime. Federal guidelines say for police officers, 86. We can't make it more stringent than federal, but we can make it less. If we move to 84, we have 960 overtime hours built into the schedule. So we're not paying them for the overtime. Their benefit is they get every other weekend off. And they're all fine with it. I have tried to break down the numbers for you guys to look at. There's no frills to it, there's no anything. I've taken what Heather has come up with a budget for crew employee benefits. I've taken what we currently have right now, what I just got today, as far as salary and wages, benefits, overtime paid. You throw in the 2.5% cost of living raise, and to add 2 officers for next year, you're looking at $11,000 additional.
And that was one of our questions, I think, was, do we think we will really get that overtime reduction?
We're building in the 960 hours.
Right, how about when people are on vacation? Somebody
We've got,
calls in sick.
in that schedule, I've got 2 part-time officers and 2 positions. 1 officer could probably do it. But I've got 2 positions that will cover 36 hours increase. They should be able to cover additional officers taking vacation. If that's not possible, you guys already know the salary. I don't get paid overtime, and I don't have a problem working the road. I kinda like going out with the guys every now and then. But they can swap shifts, there's all kinds of things that they can do. But yes, overtime hours, honestly, I think a lot of it was due to the lack of personnel this year, this last year. Some of that was foreseen, some of it wasn't. But I think it's realistic. To not pay very much of overtime at all. I'm trying to get, I've got the overtime hours. Patrol had 1,300 overtime hours up to this point, up to Thursday, last Thursday,
For the fiscal year.
Yes.
for the fiscal year. That's a lot, and that's not something you can really, you can guess, you can't budget for it. But of those 1,300 hours, mine was 300 and some. And we're taking 960 hours out with this proposed schedule. So it is realistic, we can drop it down to 100, 200 hours. And that is definitely much easier to plan for.
You did a good job compiling it.
Also, one other thing, it's like I was explaining to James earlier, we have tried to fill a few slots. At one time, there was a ton of part-time officers. With part-time officers, there's no commitment for them unless they want a full-time job. So it's hard to get them to work during the week if they've got another job. This, at least they know way in advance that this is what is open. There is nothing else open. So, if you want the hours, you know. If I get a part-timer that can't fill a shift, I still got coverage on that shift. without paying somebody else. Just like we're doing right now. So, anyway.
Thank you.
Was there another question about vehicles?
I think that, it's been misconstrued that we're buying 2 new vehicles, when in fact we're replacing 2 vehicles.
Yes.
Other people have said, oh, police are gonna hire 2 new officers, they're gonna get 2 new vehicles, and that's not the case. We've talked about this at length, and this is, it would be replacing a car with the newer vehicle, and then the chief's vehicle, we're not going to do the lease through for us anymore. We would be,
I can look at you guys right now and tell you, in no foreseeable future, am I going to ask for an additional vehicle? Replacement vehicle? Yeah. Because we're starting to.
The number we have works. The amount of vehicles we have works. Okay. Getting them into a replacement schedule, it's gonna take us about 3 years to get where we're at, because the fact is, I'm still running, 2011 Crown Vics around with, that got a lot of miles, I'll just put it that way. But we figured out, it's about 3 years before we get everything to a point where every year, or every other year, maybe we can replace cars. So, we're working towards it, you just have to bear with us, we've gotten behind.
So are we still working towards the reduced number of vehicles we talked about, I don't know, 6 months ago or
We
so?
did get rid of one.
Right, but we were talking about keeping newer vehicles, but a smaller number and officers sharing. That was, I thought that was kind of the game plan, but it's
Officers are sharing them
been
now.
many months ago.
They are sharing them now. The newest vehicle is set out here. But I've got 2 other vehicles that officers are pulling right now. And in fact, one of them is today.
Yeah.
Both of them are a block away from the PD. And they're using them, they're putting, I don't know how many, about 80 miles on them per shift.
I'll be honest with you, Robert, when I started, I had no intentions of reducing it. I had no intentions of increasing it either, but I had no intentions of decreasing it.
One thing.
And that discussion was prior to your
Okay,
tenure.
so that's,
So-
you know, that's just me.
Yeah. One of the discussions that we've had in the past is when you share the officer's vehicles, they are run that much harder and they wear down that much quicker. So, you know, having a larger fleet makes the cars last a little longer. So,
As far as the 2 new vehicles, one of them, we plan to do the same thing that we did last year. That vehicle, it has had repairs, but the dealer that sold us the vehicle has paid for it.
He gave us a year bumper to bumper, so the fact is, he's covered anything that we bring into.
I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. I don't see any problems in the vehicle. The other vehicle, which would be his,
We're still working on that.
I think we can buy that local at a reduced price.
Stand by, that's to come, so.
we don't have to worry about that till January,
Right.
December.
Yeah,
we'll
That's
probably be
toward-
going back to
that's towards the
December.
end of the calendar year, we have to worry about that, because
Okay.
the lease on this vehicle is not until January of next year, so.
okay.
Any other questions? Any other, Desmond Rice?
The vehicle lease from Forest Chevrolet, did that start out as a freebie?
It is a freebie still.
It is still.
Then what is it?
It's a no-cost lease that we're paying the insurance on the vehicle,
Ah,
so, yes.
thank you.
You're welcome.
How much is the insurance?
It just kind of rolled up with all the city
It's
vehicles.
fleet insurance, James, so it's just one large lump sum.
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
wondering how much is being saved by not doing that.
We'll still have to insure it probably exactly the same, so we won't save any money on insurance.
Yeah.
Entertain entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We stand adjourned.